All right, here we go with the first 24 hours in the Honda Civic. Literally all of today has been dedicated to driving. So it's finally about to get interesting with our first actual night sleeping in here. This is gonna be crazy. The car is insane. Let me show you what it looked like before we left. First though, a quick shout out to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Yep. Okay. Was it? Definitely stuffed in every crevice. There's vans. There's what, one van, two vans, an RV, another little RV. We just made it to a Walmart. We're about an hour and a half away from our destination, but we're gonna stay here for the night because bathrooms in the morning will be a guarantee, and we're getting pretty tired, and there's a lot of deer on the road, and we don't want to hit one. Now we have all this stuff to try and navigate and situate the car so that we can take a shower and go to sleep. Oh gosh, it's so bright. We slept at Walmart. Verdict for the first night. What do you say?
We need to reorganize.
Okay, so it's the crash pads were right there, and we just took them out. Now we're setting up. We just put the bed back that way, and we've got to stuff all this stuff back in the back so that we can take off. Everybody's still sleeping in. Well, there's one van missing, so it seems like we're almost the last people to get here and the first ones to leave. We're just gonna head into Walmart. Look at the view. Not bad for a Walmart. Okay, found the battery station. We needed to buy 8 D batteries for the fan because it started to die on us, but it lasted us the whole night, which was pretty awesome. So the first night sleeping on this in the Honda Civic, a little miserable, but to be fair, it was kind of like our own fault. So the goal was to reach a certain destination, and we still have not made it yet. We're about an hour outside of where we wanted to be, but again, just because it was like so dark and there were so many animals and whatever, we decided let's just stop and call it a night, and then we'll drive the extra hour today. So we're gonna do that right now after we leave Walmart. But the reason, well, I don't know if it's like the reason, but part of the reason that sleeping in here was kind of miserable last night was because by the time we reached Walmart, we had been driving all day. So I was being pretty lazy, and I was like, we don't really, like, we can set up the bed, but we don't need to do it like all out, you know? So the bed is just like plywood, and we have these sleeping pads, like air up sleeping pads to sleep on, like camping mat type things. But I was like, we don't need to do that. Like, you know, we're just gonna sleep for a couple hours, so like let's just use our sleeping bags and sleep on the plywood, because sleeping bags are pretty cushiony, right? So that's what we did, and it worked out until, so like we had our sleeping bags and then slept on top of the sleeping bags, and then like each of us had a blanket, whatever, and that worked out fine and it was comfortable until it got really, really cold in the middle of the night and we had to get inside the sleeping bags. So yeah, then with only the one layer of the sleeping bag on top of the plywood, nah, it was pretty bad. And so I asked Jonathan when we woke up, I was like, yeah, like what's on a scale of 1 to 10, like 10 being the best, like how was sleeping in the Honda Civic? And he was like, 3 of 10, we need to reorganize. So that just goes to show you it was bad, but I will say like it was doable. So, and like also because it was our first night and we hadn't, okay, so if you're ever gonna live in a car or take a road trip while like
camping in a car, whatever, you should practice first because we did not do that. So, and you would think I would know better, but guess not. So we hadn't figured out like exactly where anything goes, and when we sleep at like Walmart and stuff, everything, including like these big old crash pads, has to stay in the car. So it's like a really tight fit. And so last night we're like setting up and like trying to figure out where to put stuff, and we're just kind of throwing things everywhere because there's like so much stuff in here, and so we can go to sleep because we're tired. It's like 2-3 o'clock in the morning at this point. And you know, so we put everything where it needs to go, cool, set up the bed, awesome, lay down, and then it's like just like noob mistakes. Like, so we get in the back and then I'm like, wait, where's the toilet paper? And of course it's like at the like foot of like the driver's side seat, so it's like buried, you know, impossible to get to. So it's like little things like that. It's like, okay, we need to be mindful of where things go. Like everything has to have a place, and as of right now it's just like so chaotic, and that is not the case. So I think our first mission is going to be kind of doing stuff like that, like trying to figure out where stuff goes and just good places for things. And like one thing is like, yeah, we do have quite a bit of stuff, and the reason that we haven't gotten like a skybox or like a trailer type thing to put anything or whatever is because we didn't, this is an experiment, right? Like I lived in a tiny little car way back in the day in like 2014, 2015 and stuff like that, but it's been a long time. And I've also never lived in any size vehicle with another person. So we didn't want to just like, oh yeah, we're gonna commit to the Honda. So as I said, this is like a complete experiment. So because of that, we didn't want to just like go out and purchase, you know, these pretty expensive, I guess depending on like, you know, where you're at with money and everything. But for us, it would be pretty pricey to just like go out and buy these things that we weren't 100% sure we were gonna need, because like if this doesn't work, then we would end up with a box and like a trailer thing for no reason and have to like resell them, and that just kind of seems like a pain. So yeah, like in the grand scheme of things, if this is awesome, then those are some realistic options to think about in the future. But for right now, that's just why this is so kind of crammed. And I know it probably sounds or seems or looks or whatever like it's a little bit claustrophobic, and honestly, like to be in here, it's not that bad. Like there is a lot of stuff and it is kind of a pain, but the goal is that most of the time, like as in like 99% of the time, other than for driving and sleeping, like we're not going to be in the car, we're going to be outside. So it should be fine. And also too, with like the box and the trailer type stuff, I just kind of thought like maybe it would be better to start without those things, not only because of like the investment that, you know, whatever, but because then like we'll have an idea of how this all works with everything self-contained. So then if it did happen to be that this is like a sustainable thing, then when we decided to get the box or the trailer or whatever we decided to do, then we would appreciate them a little bit more, because we would know what this feels like and how much space those things free up, versus like if we started with those things, I feel like I might have a tendency to be like, I don't know, to kind of see the negative of like, even though there's stuff in there, I'd still feel crammed or still feel like there's not enough space or something like that. So I don't know, maybe it's kind of like a, I don't know what, like a bad way of thinking about it, like, oh yeah, let's suffer for now, so then when you get like a luxury you can appreciate it more. So I don't know if that makes sense or not, but that's one of the things that I had thought about in reference to those items, as well as like that initial investment that I didn't want to make in case this just doesn't work. I mean, living in a small car with 2 people sounds insane. Probably is insane, I don't know, but you know, we're here, we're doing it, we're gonna try and make it work and see just how it goes. So anyways, in conclusion, for the first night of sleeping in the Honda Civic, it was pretty brutal. We've got a lot to learn, got some adjustments to make, some organizing to do, all that good stuff. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still optimistic, I think. Can you be questionably optimistic? I don't know. If so, that's what I am. Either way, we have to get back on the road. We have another hour until we reach our destination, so I will just catch up with you guys then.
Alright, so we've pulled over. So that's the view. That's the view. And we're gonna make some food real quick because we didn't really get to have dinner because it was dark and really late. So we were just like, whatever, let's just go to sleep. And we haven't had breakfast yet. I love this thing. Get out of here, bug. What are you doing? You like the water? We've got breakfast. We've got a view. The clouds are moving really fast. I love when that happens. It's super cool. Admire that. Time to do dishes. That's always the fun part. Do you need the soap? I think I know where it is. Alright, things are clean. He's putting away the dishes. We've got our trash. We just gotta put this stuff away. And then we shall be continuing on. So we've just pulled over to kind of reassess and talk about if we're gonna do what we thought we were gonna do. Because we've just gotten to like the area of our campsite. Turns out the road is pretty gnarly. Not like if you have a capable vehicle, it'd be totally fine. It's like not that hardcore. But for a Honda Civic, especially one that you're like trying to live in, so you're like trying to take good care of it. I don't know. And like maybe we're just being too like overly cautious. I don't know. So we've just been talking about it. We looked at the road and we're like, are we gonna do this? Are we still going camping here? And I think we are. So this should be pretty fun. So that's the hill we have to go up. I was like, get it, bro. I can't even tell if this looks steep or not. We have made it to our new home for the next week-ish. Maybe 2, maybe less. However long we decide to stay. The view. Not bad. What do y'all think? This is amazing. That is awesome. And just everything. So now I think the plan is to make some lunch. And then we are gonna meet up with my friend Molly, because she's close by, and just see what we get into. After lunch, we decided to reorganize the entire car because after the first night in it, we just kind of had a way more realistic idea of where everything should go. This is probably not anything's permanent home anyways. So there's all kinds of stuff in every like nook and cranny. Like there's water down there, there's stuff in there. There's actually stuff under that seat, you just can't really see it. So there's stuff lining the window. Yeah, there's the trunk. That is what that's looking like. So we have just arrived at my friend Molly's house and I am so excited! Alright, we are about to go check out Molly's garden and I cannot wait for this. This is gonna be super cool.
The soil is the most important part. You cannot skimp on the soil.
Jazzy, this is crazy.
Yeah, moonflowers, bush beans, squash, zucchini, corn.
You have corn in here?
Yeah, corn.
Oh, that
And they
makes,
have
yeah,
the
it's right in front of my
silks
face.
on 'em, so that's a good sign. The wildflowers I did from seed, as well as the zinnias. Oh, it's the strawberries, and they have a lot of the little babes. Ooh, and that guy's like ready. Woohoo! Yeah.
That's awesome. So we hung out with my friend. She showed us her garden. It was amazing. And now we're back at where we're camping and we reorganized the car yet again for sleeping and showering and whatnot. And I think We've done our best so far. It is turning out to be really awesome, and hopefully to set up, well, I don't know. I don't think this is going to be the final rendition because we're still figuring out where everything goes, what we need to use and when, etc., etc. But we're making like a lot of progress each and every time we reorganize. Okay, I do have to say that tonight's organization totally trumps last night's. Look at the bed setup. We actually got to pull the sleeping pads out today. It'll be much nicer than last night. We just slept like on the sleeping bags. So it'll be nice that we've got these set up. We've got space. We've got foot space back here, which we did not have last night. There's the view. There's a storm coming in. Just laying here, the light, just chilling, watching the storm with the fan behind us. So that's nice. And we're just gonna kick it. See if the storm passes through or not. And while we sit here and wait for the storm, let's chat about that good old Squarespace. Squarespace gives people a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your very own website. With Squarespace's traffic overview feature, you can track trends in page visits and views to better optimize your posting. And on top of that, using Squarespace's email campaigns feature, you can make your emails stand out and unify your voice across your website and brand emails. So if you're interested, you can go to squarespace.com/HoboAllie to get a free trial and 10% off your first purchase. Well, this was the first 24 hours in the Honda Civic. So far, kind of just a lot of reorganizing, but now that we are in our destination, awesome adventuring is up next. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see y'all next time.